So, welcome back. We have episode 17 of the Nola Taoist. I'm Chris. 17, coincidentally, I've been doing martial arts for right over 17 years. I love tea. Today I decided to make a little combination. I have turmeric and ginger mixed with blackberry and sage. Yum, 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 yum. So today we're going to talk about gong. And the last time we talked about qigong, last time for that kind of meditation. So we're talking about gong, a little bit of comparison between gong and qigong. So more tea though first. And of course we're going to do verse 17 of the Tao Te Ching. And today's going to be kind of short and sweet. So anyway, let's roll into it. The depth of all of the channels, and not all of them. In gong, there are 16 components in gong, but in gong, you work with the depth of the energy channels. And gong means internal, so internal work. So gong is internal, definitely working the structure, working the spine, the soft tissues, stretching the tendons, opening and closing the joints of the body, working the breath, etc. So gong goes deeper and is a lot more powerful. And you assist in any internal art, Qi, Bagua, Tai Chi, or drunken boxing, whatever. If they have an internal component, it's gong. And gong usually consists of a certain breathing pattern per system, right? And then what you do to work that, well, there's many ways. So there's many different ways. The way that Tai Chi works in gong is different than the way that Qi works in gong. They're both doing gong, but it works the energy in a different pattern and function, right? So qigong works the breath and the body, of course, but not to the depth or generating the amount of power and energy that gong does. Qigong is more of a beginner kind of thing. Gong is more advanced. You have to have more knowledge of the energetic channels through the body that you're working, and more in-depth ways of working the body. Let me pour a little more tea here. Oh, yeah. So, verse 17. The best rulers are those whom people hardly know exist. Yes, if you work for somebody, work in an establishment, and they're real smart and they're real good about it, the higher ups, you'll almost never see them. People actually really making decisions, you'll almost never see them. And you'll almost never know that the decisions of what's happening is coming from them. I mean, obviously, if you know who they are, yeah, you're going to know that, but you'll never know the why or the reasoning or any of that. There'll be a big space between you and them because there'll be a hierarchy and changes, levels, yeah. And so those type of people function different than somebody maybe generally right above you. So the next verse says, next come rulers whom the people love and praise. So under the people that you barely know exist come the rulers that you idolize, right? So that there's a person that's super far removed at the top that's really making the big decisions. Not doing a lot of heavy lifting, but they make the big decisions through their experiences, yeah, to guide the people or the company or whatever we're discussing. Then you have the rulers who everybody knows is the top that they love. They're the idol. They're so amazing. They do this and do that. Even if they did something wrong, they're so great. They're so amazing. You kind of idolize these people. They're always seen as like the great ones. Yeah, everybody knows their name and everybody loves them. After that, become the rulers whom people fear, which is let's say another level down. So there are people who are rulers that you love, that make you love them because of their service and who they are and how they treat you and behave and perform their job. Then there are the rulers that people fear because they're mean, yeah, do to them. And they don't really want to get any of that like nastiness from them. So they don't love them, but they kind of like, I respect you because I don't want you to like run me over. And the worst rulers are those whom the people despise. Now, I'm not just afraid of you because you're going to be mean to me, but I despise you. I dare I say the word loathe, hate you. Yeah, because not only am I afraid of the things that you do, but I don't like you. I disagree with what you're doing. So you're doing things, and they're maybe not even for the greater good of the company or the people involved. And you use poor, low-level, angry tactics to get it done, as opposed to the rule everyone loves, which is coming from a place of service and being subservient to the staff and the company and pouring their heart and body, mind, and soul into doing the best for the company. The ruler who does not trust the people will not be trusted by the people. So the rulers whom the people despise definitely do not trust the people. They don't trust the company, they don't trust the people. That's why they move in the way that they do. That's why they make these awful decisions. It's one thing to know someone and know that maybe they have a weakness here and you need to pay attention because maybe they wander off or whatever. But you have to trust them to do their job or the things that they're good at, et cetera, et cetera. And then you step in when it's necessary to make the correction, right? But you trust them to do their part in their job. But the rulers who don't trust the people, any trust in them to do anything, then they're going to be constantly over the top of them and trying to do their job for them, which means that they're not overseeing, they're now doing a lower level job. And they don't trust the people. So if someone knows you don't trust them, then they typically don't trust you. Trust has got to go both ways. The best ruler stays in the background and his voice is rarely heard. Again, this is the one that I was speaking from that stays way out the way. And you hardly ever hear this individual say anything. And then when you do, you're like, oh, it's great. And usually they're not even saying anything about themselves or any of that. They're usually commenting on what's going on and then the way that the people need to move in order to go about this in the best case scenario, the best way possible. When he accomplishes his task and things go well, the people declare it was we who did it by ourselves. So again, that's what I was explaining. The ruler is way up above. They will say what's going on and then what needs to be done in order to get there, and then allow the people to use their own resources, each individual person to use their own creativity to come together, to work with the others to as the team to come together to get to the place that they need to go through their own resources. So it doesn't look like it makes this kind of pattern. You allow the people to whatever, but you end up here where you need to be. So it doesn't matter if you take this pattern and you get here, or you take this pattern and get here, or you take this pattern and get here. The point is that you get here, right? The end goal, you get where you need to get. And everybody's path up the mountain looks different. For me, I did this and it worked great. For you, you went, you know what, I'm gonna go back and then forward and then go up and then go down and get here. Great, we both got there. At the end of the day, we both got there, and that's life. People have different paths and patterns. And we're gonna intersect and cross with people and they can say, hey, look, I've been down this path and this is what worked for me. And you can say, hey, I've been down that path and that's what worked for me. And you can go along, but you gotta love people and their own paths as they are. And that's for yourself. You have to love you on your own path. Your own path is your own path, not Phil's path, Kathleen's path, Joe's path. Your path is your path, and that's up to you to figure out your path. And when you steer off path, universe will correct you back to path. And know that your path might look more windy than another's path. Who needs to go straight up like that? neither one's better. If you got a longer, windier path, you're going to see and learn different things than other people. If you got a straight shot path, your path's going to be really fucking hard and move a lot faster, which means you have to integrate processes way faster. It's going to be a lot harder to do and deal with. But you're going to go boom, right? So they all have their pros and cons. And at the end of the day, you're still going to the end of the path. And on that note, it's actually not a bad exchange tea. I like to get a little more. Oh, yeah. Sweet. All right, here we go. Boom. I love the smell of the blackberry sage in there. So let's just read the whole thing through. It's a short one today. The best rulers are those whom the people hardly know exist. Next come rulers whom the people love and praise. After that come rulers whom the people fear. And the worst rulers are those whom the people despise. The ruler who does not trust the people will not be trusted by the people. The best ruler stays in the background, and his voice is rarely heard. When he accomplishes his task and things go well, the people declare, "It was we who did it by ourselves." The best rulers are far, far, far removed away. They empower the people to get from A to B by themselves. So the wisest rulers have been this path and probably this path and this path and a lot of the paths. And they're probably continually walking a path, which you have no idea about and they'll probably never tell you. But they've been most of the paths that most people have been. And the paths that they haven't been, they probably know someone who's been on those paths who they can listen to, who can advise them, give them counsel, and then they can heed the counsel and consider all views and make the best decision, or help the people make the best decision. They can inspire the people, give the people hope and motivation. There's a quote that I love that says, "The Taoist sage empties the hearts and the minds of the common people and fills their belly," which is kind of funny because who doesn't love eating? Everyone loves to eat. Full belly makes you happy, right? Think about it. When you got a full belly, most of the time you've forgotten life's worries because you feel so good from eating your food, especially something you enjoy, right? You go out to a nice restaurant and get your favorite dish, Peking duck, or whatever it might be. You get your favorite dish, and all you have to worry about in that time is eating your favorite dish and drinking your favorite drink. Life stands still. You're at the center of space and time. All of your worries and concerns and emotions of your heart are gone and empty. All of the fears and the doubts and the negative self-talk of your mind, the judgment and everything else, it's gone because the sage has sat there and listened. The sage has heard. He listens, or she. Sage listens. They feel your feelings, and they understand your thoughts, and then they fill your belly. So, I've been in the restaurant industry for over a decade, and a friend of mine pointed out to me the Latin meaning of restaurant is to restore one's soul. And when I heard that, I just thought that that was absolutely phenomenal. There are some people that go out to a restaurant all the time and it becomes like anything else, going to the bathroom, drinking a sip of water, mundane, meaning nothing. But for a lot of people, going to a restaurant, especially a really nice restaurant, is a special occasion. And that special occasion is often celebrated or done with friends or family or loved ones. And often it's something that you make a specific time for to go and do. And you take this time out of your day in your schedule that you've made a specific special time to go and do this. And then you have all these thoughts and feelings around it, how good the food's going to taste. Even before you get there, you're like, oh, there's going to be something good. You've maybe even seen the menu and kind of have an idea of what you might want. And that may change. Maybe you may go with what your guest wants, but you might probably going to get something you really want too. So you've thought about this and had all these ideas of these things that you want and how good it's going to feel as it goes in your body and nourishes your body, how good it's going to taste when it hits your tongue, how happy and joyful you're going to be from the pleasure while the hormones release from eating this delicious food. And so you build it up in your body, breath, and mind. And then you get there with your friend or family member, loved one, and maybe you talk about things that are bothering you and you get a release, or maybe you talk about past times that you love that were just so beautiful and amazing, and you love these things and they make you happy. These heartfelt moments with your friends and family and loved ones. So now you have this environment that's catering to you, making it easy for you. You can relax in it. You are eating delicious food and you're celebrating with friends, family, or loved ones. It's like the trifecta. You've created this thing and then you've supported it. You've created this idea and you put feelings behind it and then you've supported it in the real world by actually having the action and the experience in real life. So I know personally I've had times where I've been going through hard things and like made the time to go out with a friend or a group of friends or a loved one or a family member. And I definitely felt restored after going and eating there because I got to just sit still and just be present in the moment with the person that I'm with or the people that I'm with. And forget about all the other things going on in my life, the laundry list of things that I need to do for the business, for my personal life, my laundry, cooking, any of this stuff. It's almost like pure enjoyment just to sit and be still. And as a server in casual restaurants, fine dining, luxury hotels, it can be a tough job because oftentimes you take on or deal with the funk of people who maybe come in and are not in the best mood. Maybe they treat you badly and you take it and whatever, and you go above and beyond to do extra nice things so that they can have a great experience. And it's not always that way. Sometimes you hit it off and you love them, but there are a lot of times that it is that way. And that's why it can be tough. It can be energetically draining sometimes. And it can be energetically very fulfilling on the opposite end when you have those great exchanges with people. So you start to see it as it is what it is, and you see the waves and the ups and the downs through the times of the years and the festivals and the holidays and the birthdays and the graduations and all of these special events that come to the restaurant. And what's cool is you get to meet people from around the world, people traveling within the state, people traveling within the country, people traveling from outside of the country and coming in. So it's cool because sometimes you get to hear different perspectives of people that live in a whole other continent and see a different way of life. And sometimes you just get to see people happy and eating food that tastes great to them that they love and spending time with their family. And sometimes at the end of their meal, you get to see people drink tea. Not many Americans do that as an overall whole, but it's actually growing nowadays. As people are starting to understand the health benefits of having hot tea after a meal and foregoing sugary alcoholic drinks or a cup of coffee. Not to say they should ever have a cup of coffee after a meal, 'cause, oh, it sure does digest your food very well, and it feels great. And the combination after eating your savory meal and having a cup of coffee, it's just a great experience. But it's not always the best for your health. But it sure does feel good. My rule is 70% good, 30% bad. Maybe some people go 70% bad, 30% good. Hey, maybe you go through different stages in life, whatever works for you. I don't know. That's just my rule, and that's what I like to do. And it works pretty well for me. And I'm going to comment a little bit on this year. So this year's the year of the water rabbit, peace and prosperity. Last year was the year of the water tiger. Both of them are water years, very spiritual years. And both of them have been, dare I say, extremely hard, but also so far extremely amazing because I've hit massive amounts of growth in both of them, like spiritual evolution, like massive. And I'm absolutely sure it's not just me; it's other people in the world too, because I see people that I know and how they live their lives and how they're changing. So it's definitely not just me, that's for sure. But I can really, for me personally, I really, really appreciate spiritual evolution. And it's actually really extremely hard doing a lot of personal growth work and seeing other people do that and then being around them doing that. It's not always a pleasant feeling, but it is really cool to see on the other side where you come from and with the image and the idea of where you're going and then where you're at presently. That's actually really rewarding to me. To sit still and be present, be able to look forward and look in the past and then look back to the present of where I am. That's really rewarding to me. And on that note, until next time.